getting to the root of it, they must recover every order. The remaining 9 must come back to custody immediately.
Inmates still at large, while federal government orders probe into jailbreak incident at Cotton Karfi Correctional Center, Kogi State.
Force recorded the arrest of 602 armed robbery suspects, 385 kidnapping suspects.
Police apprehends kidnappers along Kogi-Edo boundary, recovers arms, ammunition, and more. Sauka community in Abuja gets First Lady's blessing as Senator Oluremi Tinubu promises to address long-standing concern of tuberculosis. Hello and thanks for joining us on the News Desk at 6 on ATNS 24, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. President Bola Tinubu has officially launched the Nigerian Youth Academy, aimed at empowering young Nigerians to participate actively in nation building. The academy is expected to compete at the global stage by ensuring their voices are heard in shaping the policies that impact their lives. We'll bring you the report in our subsequent bulletins. 3 out of the 12 inmates who escaped from the Medium Correctional Center in Cotton Karfi, Kogi State, have been recaptured, while search for the remaining 9 intensifies in the state. Jonathan Omajali reports.
The Cotton Karfi Medium Correctional Facility housed 243 inmates until the early hours of Monday, when 12 inmates escaped after killing a security guard on duty.
Lost one personnel. What happened after they manipulated the key, they tied 2 of my personnel who were on duty up, strangled 1, and then made good their escape route.
The incident has raised growing concerns, serving as a grim reminder of previous jailbreaks at the facility.
3 of them have been recaptured, remaining 9, and they will also be recaptured because the search party, they are in town. All the exits have been cordoned off, and we are having very good synergy with all the security agencies to make sure that these inmates that escaped are recaptured.
Apart from getting to the root of it, they must recover every order. The remaining 9 must come back to custody immediately.
Disturbed by the attack, the Ohimege Igwe of Cotton Karfi has directed local chiefs and security personnel to step up efforts to recapture the fleeing inmates.
On my part, I have sent messages to the village chiefs around the facility. The chief of Osuku, Onzo, Ogbendu, and Pareke. These are the immediate communities around the facility. To alert them of what has happened and for them to be vigilant of any strange movement, so that if they see any of such, they report immediately, so that such escapees can be apprehended.
The last attack on the facility was in 2016. Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
And sequel to this development, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has ordered immediate probe into the jailbreak incident at the Cotton Karfi Correctional Center in Kogi State. The minister describes the incident as unfortunate and vows to ensure all fleeing inmates are captured, leveraging the service's robust biometrics and already deployed technology solutions. In a statement, the minister directed the Acting Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Sylvester Nwakuche, to visit the facility in Kogi State and evaluate the situation, while a comprehensive audit to unravel the events that led to the incident should commence immediately. The intelligence response team of the Nigerian Police Force has intercepted a group of suspected kidnappers on their way to Benin from Abuja between Kogi and Edo State. In a fierce encounter, the kidnappers were overpowered by the force, leading to the arrest of 7 suspects, Francis Form reports that at the briefing in Abuja, the force public relations officer Olumiyiwa Adejobi says among the items recovered from the suspects were one AK-47 rifle, one British DSS rifle, 2 pump-action guns, and 2 single-barrel guns. He notes that between February and March, the force has achieved a significant milestone in crime prevention and law enforcement.
557 murder/homicide suspects, 286 rape suspects, 276 suspected cultists, and recovery of 333 various firearms. The force was also able to recover 200 stolen vehicles and rescue 324 victims of kidnapping.
Reaffirming its commitment to public safety, the Nigerian police force is to intensify operations against criminal elements nationwide. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has taken her advocacy against tuberculosis to the grassroots, seeking to build a community-based coalition against the global epidemic. She led critical stakeholders to Sauka Village, Abuja, for a community outreach as part of events marking this year's World Tuberculosis Day. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo reports that the First Lady also announced a donation of another 1 billion naira from Renewed Hope Initiative to the fight against TB in Nigeria.
With one person said to die from tuberculosis every 7 minutes in Nigeria, making the country one of the top 8 with the highest burden of TB in the world. The statistics from the World Health Organization 2024 Global TB Report are far from cheering. As the global and national Stop TB champion, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is conscious of these figures and worried by them enough to engage directly with members of Sauka Village, Abuja, on advocacy campaign. Reflecting on the theme of this year's celebration, Years We Can End TB, Commit, Invest and Deliver, she renewed her call for improved funding and stronger coalition to boost advocacy.
Government has prioritized expanding TB testing and treatment centers across Nigeria, ensuring that TB treatment remains free and accessible to all. We need traditional and religious leaders, legislators, the youth, healthcare workers, private sector organizations, non-governmental organizations, and international partners to join forces in this fight.
To further strengthen the fight, she promised to amplify the voices of TB survivors, fight against stigma, and ensure that marginalized groups have equal access to TB care.
At this juncture, I would like to pledge an additional sum of 1 billion naira from the Renewed Hope Initiative towards the fight against tuberculosis in Nigeria. To our health workers, volunteers, community and religious leaders, your dedication is the backbone of this fight. I thank you.
Your Excellency, you have helped us tremendously to communicate to Nigerians unambiguously that TB is not a death sentence. It can be prevented.
By bringing the campaign and advocacy against TB to Sauka community is fundamental to mitigate the impact of the disease and eliminate any associated stigma in vulnerable populations.
The First Lady also facilitated the establishment of a primary health center in Sauka Village as their first fruit for embracing the Stop TB campaign. From Sauka Village in Abuja, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
A 2025 World TB Day will remain remarkable for the people of Sauka community in Abuja, as First Lady Oluremi Tinubu promises to address their long-standing concern, a health facility. Uche Gochukwu was at the community where many people received free screening and treatment for tuberculosis.
This is Sauka Village, a community tucked away on the fringes of Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Here, an estimated 3,000 people live, most in cramped, poorly ventilated homes, where daily survival often takes precedence over health. With overcrowding, poor sanitation and a lack of clean water, Soka Village provides a fertile ground for the spread of tuberculosis. The absence of healthcare facilities only worsens the situation, making early detection and treatment nearly impossible. It is these glaring vulnerabilities that have made Soka Village the focal point of this year's World TB Day activities. For the first time in years, there is a glimmer of hope, spearheaded by the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu. A health facility is on the horizon.
TB is a serious health issue in our country, especially in remote communities where many people may not have access to TB diagnosis and treatment. However, the good news is that TB is preventable.
The World Health Organization called urgent investment into TB care, lamenting that drastic and abrupt cuts in global health funding threaten to reverse decades of progress to combat the disease.
Also, a team of TB champions led by the Stop TB Partnership Nigeria is working tirelessly, offering free screening to residents. Among them is Monday Musa, who, like many in this community, having heard about the symptoms, risks and importance of early detection of TB, takes what could be a life-saving step.
I have some symptoms that I heard about it, so that is the reason why I just come, so that they will be tested me and give me the drugs.
It's me. I don't see person where they say it can better cure them because the person take the treatment for good 6 months.
I assure you that the traditional institution will collaborate with health personnel to pursue the compliance, to ensure compliance. The message will be carried out to all NOX and chronic in the FCT.
We Fit Duam is not just a slogan here. It is a call to action that is already making impact. For the people of Soka, this is more than just an event. It marks the beginning of a healthier, more secure future. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
How do you know that every second an African is dying of tuberculosis, which is curable and preventable disease? With dwindling external funds, prioritizing domestic resource mobilization, guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe will help mitigate funding gaps and position the continent towards ending TB by 2030. Lydia Sampson reports.
Sustainably improving TB detection rates, strengthening healthcare systems, and addressing socio-economic factors, the guests reiterated are crucial steps to reduce TB mortality in Nigeria.
TB is a disease that is curable and can be treated. We also have done a lot of things in the area of trying to make sure that services are made available.
We need to also increase in our efforts to conduct preventive measures, to carry out preventive measures at all levels, from the government, among healthcare workers, the communities, civil society organization, and all stakeholders.
They want more policy reform, stigma reduction, research and development, as well as sustainable collaborative efforts.
So we need to really commit ourselves at this particular point, wherein we can get these personalities who are willing to actually help out, okay, and support this TB program is very important.
That means that every second we are speaking, an African is dying for, due to TB-related complication or illness.
With a high mortality rate occurring despite the availability of effective treatments, the guests are of the view that if stringent measures are not taken, it will further be compounded by the prevalence of drug-resistant TB and HIV-associated TB. Other factors such as limited awareness, poor treatment adherence, stigma, and inadequate access to healthcare, they noted, contribute to the high number of TB-related deaths. They called for robust commitment to advocating for strengthening partnership, prioritizing vulnerable groups, and investing in innovative diagnostic tools with the hope of a TB-free future by 2030. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Let's take a break. Now we'll have more reports after the break.
Celebrate Ramadan with Bafi and enjoy up to 40% off on selected products from living room, dining room, bedroom, and royal sets. Pay less, save more, and refresh your home for iftar gatherings and cherished moments with family and friends. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online to enjoy our exclusive Ramadan sale. Let's make this Ramadan unforgettable.
Thanks for joining us again. And of course, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communications in Kogi State, Kingsley Femi Fanwo, now joins me from Kogi State. Thanks for joining us on the news at 6.
Thank you very much for having me, and good evening, viewers.
All right, there's been a jailbreak in Cotton Karfi. What's your reaction to this, and what is the state government doing to help the authorities recapture these escapees?
Thank you very much. Immediately, we got the report of the jailbreak, which happened at about 1 a.m. This morning. The state government swung into action immediately to ensure that the 12 inmates that escaped from the facility were rearrested and brought back, and also to ensure safety of people around the place. The state government reacted to it in the morning, where we made our views very clear about it. Unacceptable, unfortunate, and something that would have to be investigated deeply so that all the perpetrators will be brought to book. Also, we also expressed our view on the fact that we do not believe it is a jailbreak. It was a cleanly orchestrated and executed plan to free some inmates there, because no part of the facility was damaged by those who escaped. So we have called for very intense investigations to get to the roots of the matter with a view of averting possible future occurrence. These are some of the things that we have come out to say as a state government, and to reassure the people in Cotton Karfi that the state government is working very hard to ensure their security. The governor already directed the state security advisor to network and work very closely with all the security agencies to ensure that all those that fled were apprehended and brought back to the facility. So far, when we issued our statement in the morning, only one of them had been rearrested, but the information we are getting is that about 3 of them are already back to the facility. So we are still looking for 9, and we have also made an address to the people of the state to provide useful intelligence that will lead to the rearrest of the criminals that escaped from the facility.
All right, while you're making efforts with the Correctional Service to ensure the security of Kogi State people, by the way, are you also making some efforts to work with the Correctional Service to ensure security in the custodial centers across Kogi State to forestall future occurrence?
Yes, we as a government, we've made it a matter of policy to also always support all federal security agencies in the state in order for them to be able to do their job without hindrance. And that is what the state government has been doing. A few weeks ago, we still had some collaboration with the Nigerian Correctional Service, especially the Correctional Center at Cotton Karfi. We have also been able to network with the Nigerian Correctional Service to provide adequate security at all the custodial centers in the state. So this one is it's not as if people came from outside to come and attack the place. That's why we are calling for very serious investigations. We have been able to, with the measures and the mechanism that we've been able to put in place, to be able to combat people that come out to come and break the prisons. But now it is something that they have to investigate and let us know the culprits, both within and outside of the service.
All right, Kingsley Femi Fawo, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kogi State. Thank you for joining us on the News Desk at 6.
Thank you very much for having me.
And with prospects for harnessing more sources of energy, Nigeria is enhancing national nuclear security and safety architecture. This is coming as international experts converge in Abuja for a 4-day summit in line with International Atomic Energy Agency standards. Ayodeji Makinde has the details.
Nigeria has been making progress in nuclear products and energy regulations. This summit, the third in the series, encapsulates a global action plan by the International Atomic Energy Agency to improve national nuclear security regime. Director General, Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority, Yel Idris, explains that the Integrated Nuclear Security Sustainability Plan, INSSP, will combat nuclear terrorism, safeguard radioactive and sensitive materials abound in the country.
NNRA issue import-export license for radioactive materials almost on daily basis. The security of this material really will improve the economy of the country, because the moment you have an accident, it is going to affect the economy definitely.
We are talking about radioactive materials and nuclear materials here. These materials, even though they are useful, they can cause harm. So we want to ensure that they don't get into unauthorized hands.
INSSP will be reviewed to reflect national and global security threats spread over 6 functional areas of nuclear security, including national policy and strategy, legislative and regulatory frameworks, prevention, detection, response, assurance, and continuous improvements. In Abuja, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
A group of youth and women from Kogi Central Senatorial District have submitted petition to INEC to recall Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan as senator representing Kogi Central. Leader of the group, Ijese Charity, flanked by other members after submitting the petition, say more than 50% of the voters have signed the recall petition as required by law.
Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, we have come to submit a petition of loss of confidence. The entire people of Kogi Central have lost confidence in her. We've submitted that petition. It's been received. All other documents have been received. This is the acknowledgement copy of the petition. But we all know the INEC rules. You cannot submit a petition without having to go and get signatures of registered voters, and that's why we're now saying, as a people, we are recalling her back from the Senate, because we have gotten what it takes to recall her back from the Senate.
This will be the first recall that will be successful. The good people of Kogi Central have spoken in one voice.
It is a political field that has favored men more than the female, and we having such opportunity is supposed to be what we are supposed to leverage on to ensure that the future of what we clamor for, all the suffering of NGOs and international intervention, will not be in vain.
Section 69 and 110 of the 1999 Constitution as amended and Section 116 of the Electoral Act 2022 empower INEC to conduct recall proceedings against a member of the National and State Assemblies upon receipt of a valid petition alleging a loss of confidence in the member by more than 50% of registered voters in the affected constituency. This is the News Desk at 6 on NTA 24. Let's take a look at some of our top stories.
From getting to the root of it, they must recover every other. The remaining 9 must come back to custody immediately.
9 inmates still at large, while federal government orders probe into jailbreak incident at Koton Karfi Correctional Center, Kogi State.
Force recorded the arrests of 602 armed robbery suspects, 385 kidnapping suspects.
Police apprehends kidnappers along Kogi-Edo boundary, recover arms, ammunition and more. Sauka community in Abuja gets First Lady's blessing as Senator Oluremi Tinubu promises to address long-standing concern of tuberculosis. And that concludes the news desk at 6 on 18 News 24. Thank you for watching. I am Nina Daniels.